The IP address of a DNS server is one of the 4 things that you need to configure on each network adapter if you wish to get out on the network or the internet. So let's take a look here at, I'm going to go to the command line, and I'm going to do ipconfig and then a space /all, and this will give me all of my IP configurations. I'm looking for the adapter 2. I have 2 adapters on my tower here, 2 physical adapters, so 2 plugs, and here it is. Ethernet 2 is the one that I'm plugged into right now. So right now I'm on 10.0.0.104, 255.255.255.0, default gateway 10.0.0.1, and DNS server 75.75.75.75 with a fallback of 75.75.76.76. Those are the 4 pieces of information I need to have set up. Now DNS I can get by without if I don't need DNS, if I'm just buzzing around on my local network. However, if I do anything more extensive than that, then I will need a DNS server set up. Let's take a look at the setup of these things. I'm just going to go to the settings, network and internet, change adapter options. Now these settings are individual for each adapter. So these are all my adapters. Many of these are virtual adapters for virtualization software. I have a Bluetooth network connection which is not set up. Here are my 2 wired plugs, and then my Wi-Fi down here. So Ethernet 2 is the one that I'm on right now. I'm going to go ahead and click Properties and then go down to IP4 Properties, and you can see right now I have to obtain these 3 items and the DNS server. So these are the 4 items, these 3 and then a DNS server, automatically. That means a DHCP server will assign me an IP address, a subnet mask, a default gateway, and a DNS server. I'm going to change this to manual, and I was at, I believe I was at 10.0.0.104, and I'm going to change this now to 124. And I'll put in the subnet mask, which was 255.255.255.0. I have to make sure I'm on the same network as I'm using the same subnet mask as the rest of my network, which is the 10.0.0. And then the default gateway, I believe, was 10.0.0.1. That is the default gateway is the IP address on the router that this computer plugs into, and that one happens to be 10.0.0.1. For the DNS, it was at 75.75.75.75, and I will keep it at that because I know I can reach that. Now notice that this is not on the same network as my network. That's okay, as long as I have this default gateway here and a valid IP address and subnet mask on that same network. I can get out through my router right here, the 10.0.0.1, to the DNS server that's out here on my ISP. Now they also had as a backup 75.75.76.76, but I'm going to use the 8.8.8.8, which is Google's free DNS server that they provide for us. And it's a little slower because it has to go out to Google across the country first, whereas this one would be more local. So I'm not going to normally use this, but I'll use it as a fallback rather than the 75.75.76.76. I'll go ahead and click OK on that and close this. And now let's go back to our command line and do an ipconfig all, and we will go back to our wireless LAN adapter local area connection 2, and it looks like it has not populated yet, so I may have to close this and reopen it and wait for it to populate. Sometimes it takes a minute for that to happen. And let's take a look at it again. See if I can find it here. Okay, at this point it is not there. So what I'm going to do is an ipconfig release. Now that releases it from its earlier numbers. And then I'm going to close this and reopen it again. And I'll try it again. ipconfig all. There it is, Ethernet 2. Now we have it 10.0.0.1.24, 255.255.255.0. The default gateway is 10.0.0.1, and my DNS servers are 75.75.75.75 and 8.8.8.8. So what this means now is that my IP address, this is this computer's IP address, and this is the subnet mask marking the network that I'm on, the 10.0.0 network. The default gateway is on the same network, and it's still the same. But now if I need to resolve a name to an address, I will go out to 75.75.75.75. If it's not working for some reason, I will go out to 8.8.8.8. I will do that all through my default gateway so that I can get outside of my network, and it should all work. So this is how DNS works, and these are the 4 items that you have to have on your network adapter in order to make sure that everything runs and your DNS will run properly.